All right, hello everybody. Today I have two special helpers with me. I have Taylor and Ava. They're going to help me as I do an inspection. So thank you both for coming. So we're going to start with the yellow hive today. And what we're going to do is we're going to take a look. This top box I just put on is called a super. And this is going to be where they're going to store their honey. Now, there's a few bees up here on this top board. Not too many. So I'm just gonna lift it and let it go here. And what we're gonna do is check to see if there's any activity up top with these frames. So I'm gonna remove these frames, take a look. You can see how these are very new frames. So these are actually plastic, but the honeybees are starting to look, and what they'll eventually do is they'll build these out and then they'll have them to where they can store honey. So not a lot of activity on these frames just yet, but it's good that the bees have now more room to act. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use, this tool is a Hive tool, and it's awesome. You can use this for everything. So what they'll do is they pry this together using something almost like a glue. It's called propolis, and it comes from the trees, and it comes from the sap of the tree. And what they do is they use it to glue anything down. Anything that's loose, they will glue it. So I'm gonna take this top one off. And now you're gonna see a lot of bees here. You're gonna see several honeybees. And I just put in some new, here's some hive beetles. So I'm gonna kill these guys if I can. These are beetles that get in here. They're more of a nuisance than anything.
So the bees won't mess with the beetles, or they?
The bees will they'll try and kill the beetles, or they'll chase them, they'll drop them. I've seen them pick them up and drop them down at the bottom of the hive, yeah. Because they're really, what they do is they lay their eggs in the cells. And this is traps I just set out, so it's basically it's a mixture of oil and apple cider vinegar. And they fall in here and then they trap and they drown. So I'm gonna just set these traps here. And I don't see any in them, and I just set these out. Yeah, there's no hive beetles in them yet. I'm just gonna set these out here right now. Okay, now, what we'll do is I'm gonna take a frame out, and you're gonna see some honeybees. And I'm gonna do it real slowly. Any kind of rapid movement they don't like. So they're just kind of walking around here. So I'm gonna gently lift this up. Okay, now do you see all the honeybees? Yeah. So that's what they're doing, is they're building their home out, and they're building this comb. So what they'll do is they use a mixture of this to prepare it for the storage of honey or for the storage of pollen. They take pollen and nectar and they mix it, and that's what they feed the brood or the babies. So that's what they're doing, and I'm going to, they're building out this side as well, you'll see. So I'm just gonna gently set this down. Hopefully they'll move out of the way. I don't want to squish any. So I'm real careful when I set that down. So now we'll take a look at the next frame. Now this one has some honey. I'm gonna show you what the honey looks like. Be careful not to grab any. Okay, so on this frame, you're gonna see some of the top parts are capped, and that's honey. This is the propolis I was telling you about. So they glue that together if it's loose. And you'll see on this side where they're also working towards using this for honey. Right now it's all white, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna set this back. And let me see if I can find any. I don't see any drones on this side. I don't see the queen. So I'm gonna set this one back. The queen is probably on the bottom brood box, and so I'm not gonna get in there today just because I was just in there the other day. So I try not to disturb them too much. They certainly don't like it. All right, now I'm going to go to this frame.
Now, do you have to check every single frame?
When I do an inspection, I will. Now this one's really heavy. If you feel how heavy this frame is, this is completely filled with honey. So it has honey on this side, and there's a lot of honey on this side. So you see how that white capped looks like on the top? That's all capped honey. And this frame is completely full. Wow. So technically this doesn't have any brood. I could harvest this honey from this frame. I could take it in, extract all the honey from it, and you'd have some fresh raw honey. There's a couple things you have to do before you can extract the honey though. You have to test for the temperature and make sure that it's ready for harvesting.